everybody, and welcome back to Quarantine Kids Storytime. My name's Sascha Cooper, and I'm the co-founder of the project. Here it is again, folks. It's the weekly weekend roundup, where I bring you all that is coming up on the channel over the weekend, as well as the chapter book from Monday to Friday in the week. Plus, of course, focusing on any big projects that are coming up later on down the line. Now, first and foremost, I need to say something here. As I'm doing this video, it's a very mixed emotions sort of day to day, and I'll tell you why. It's just over a year now since theatres, entertainment and more closed due to these very uncertain times that arrived. And of course, a lot of things that happened during this time, everybody was all over the place, really confused, didn't know what on earth was going on, and how on earth were we going to continue literally performing. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel, a little bit about myself and some of the team. So, myself, Alice, and quite a lot of the readers that are on board with Quarantine Kids Storytime are professional actors. Now, the big thing is with Quarantine Kids, because we're about giving and spreading the joy through the art of books and reading, it doesn't matter whether you're as young as 6 or as old as, say, 100 plus. There is something on this channel for absolutely everybody, okay? If you have a look at our main landing page and have a look at our playlist section, you will see that there are some very, very interesting ranges of stories and chapter books that we have had on there for the past year. Now, the reason why all this came about was because this wonderful team of actors came on board to basically do two things. One, spread the joy through the art of spoken word, and also really to keep their hand in with everything that they're doing, with pretty much nothing happening during this time. But more importantly, two, what they wanted to do was to keep going. They not only wanted to feel some of that love themselves through the exploration of these books, but it's also the fact that they gave their time for free. Now, let me stress the importance of this, because this will become clear for later on in this video. Because the thing is, without these guys, these are professional actors. I'm also a professional actor. Alice, who founded the channel, is a professional actor. The fact is, these guys came on board knowing that this would be a really and truly a passionate project, a passion project. We call it a passion project in the industry. And what's happened is, with the channel, they've not only spread the love, but they've also inspired others to come on board who are not even actors. We've got a mental health nurse on our team who basically loves stories as well. We've also got a teaching assistant who's recently come on board with us. And as well as this, in the early beginnings, we also had a drama practitioner who was also a primary school teacher who came on board with us. And this is the power of something like Quarantine Kids, because we're all one big family here, and we are connected by one purpose, and that is to share the love of books, the love of reading. It's a form of escapism. And really, you know, if it wasn't for these guys, Quarantine Kids Storytime would not even have existed. And I have to say, as co-founder of this channel, it has been a very interesting experience that has literally given me a lot of food for thought, and for a lot of the performers, it's given them some new skills as well in terms of filming YouTube videos, in terms of recording audio, in terms of actually doing something a little bit different. And that's really what this whole thing is about, and this is what I love. Because if you are that sort of person, then you'll appreciate the work that goes into these stories. With this in mind, what's coming up over the weekend? I've got to highlight a wonderful lady on our team who's also a professional actress, who is called Christine Hounslow. Now, she's done quite a few bits for this channel in the form of Granny Annie and a lot more besides. And what she's done is she's literally come up with a whole lot of a variety of different things that will also appeal to lots of different ages. So much so, we wanted to highlight one tale that she did, which is from the Blue Fairy book by Andrew Lang. And it's called East of the Sun, West of the Moon. And it's a gorgeous tale, and this was done back in the summer of last year. So this will be one of the first tales that will be revisited this weekend. So part 1 will go out today, Saturday, and part 2 will go out tomorrow. Now, the tale to complement that today, because we do appreciate original work as well, today's original story is written by a guy called Mr Yollum and is going to be read by one of our original members of the team, Sophie Methuen-Turner, and it's called Jojo Goes Outside, and I hope you'll enjoy that one today because that's a really beautiful tale. And talking of beautiful tales, those who are stalwarts to the channel will know about Philip Humphries and Eric the Elf and Tiddles the Cat. Now, I have to say, I've deliberately left this particular tale to tomorrow just because of the title alone. We are revisiting the wonderful Tiddles the Cat and the Ice Cream Sundae. And I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, but I love a good ice cream sundae. If it wasn't for the fact I have rhinitis, which basically means I get a lot of build-up of stuff you don't really want to know about on a YouTube channel. So I don't even know why I put that in there. But hey, it's fine. It's triggered by dairy, but, you know, sometimes you got to put it in there for the risk, you know. I love a little bit of an ice cream sundae from time to time. And, yeah, well, because of that, what's your favourite ice cream? Put it down into the comments below. But I digress, because Phill Humphries, Tiddles the Cat and the Ice Cream Sundae will be on Sunday, which is tomorrow. Now, if you've been joining us recently, you'll know that Alice J. Crouch has recently brought a new tale onto the channel, which is focusing on Dr. Dolittle by Hugh Lofting. We had chapter 5 this Friday just gone, and now on Monday we're going to start from chapter 6 and we're going to go all the way to chapter 10 on the Friday as well. So that's Monday to Friday. Do make sure that you check that out because that is a really, really nice audio stuff if you don't particularly want to be seeing this Fizzog or any of the other Fizzogs on the channel. But in all seriousness though, that's what's coming up. However, I've got to bring highlight to the big project that is coming up. So those of you who have been watching the channel will know that we are currently in preparation for a really big Shakespeare project, which we are collaborating with another company, and this will be the first time that we've actually done a big collaboration like this. So it's pretty nerve-wracking, I've got to say, but I'm also very excited about it. The company that we have teamed up with is run by the wonderful Joe Staton, and it's the Blind Cupid Shakespeare Company. Now, what they want to do, they've got a similar policy to us. They want to make the power of words accessible to everybody, but with the focus on Shakespeare. Now, what they want to do, because they're a brand new company, what they want to do is they want to take the Bard's plays to places in the world where it's got little or no access to Shakespeare. That's William Shakespeare, that is. So somewhere like Spain, for instance, or Morocco, or anywhere else that really truly doesn't seem to have access to it on the school curriculums or even just in the theatres. Their policy is to try and change that. As for us, the reason why we're teaming up with them, we're approaching it in a slightly different way because, I don't know about you, I love William Shakespeare's plays, but have you ever looked at a Shakespeare play and gone, what on earth is he talking about? I'm completely lost. Well, this is where the Charles and Mary Lamb's famous adaptations of Shakespeare come into play. They're in the public domain, so you can have a look at that on Gutenberg if you want to have a look at that. They are very widely accessible, and I've been dying to get these particular tales on the channel for a very, very long time. So when Joe approached me, basically saying, "Hey, shall we team up?" I'd leapt at the chance. And okay, it's a little bit of a risk, and I'll tell you why in a short while, but a lot of it is so brand new. You know, we want to make the best of the whole experience whilst we can. The first thing I want to make clear is, if you have a look through our playlists, you'll see that we've done 2 charity events so far. We've done Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie for Great Ormond Street Hospital, which was our very first audiobook, and the other one that we did, we raised money for 2 charities, which was Mind and the Chestnut Treehouse Children's Hospice down here in Brighton, with the Nutcracker, which we did over the Christmas period. But this is the thing, we were raising money for charity, but because the actors that came on board and who are now doing the Shakespeare project with us, taking a tale each, what's going to happen is, you know the saying, charity begins at home? Well, that's the angle that we're going to go at, because from our perspective, and my perspective here at Quarantine Kids, I want to say thank you to the actors who are coming on board. And of course, Joe wants to pay his actors as well. So this is the reason why we came to the agreement that we're going to actually treat this as a donations project to go towards our wonderful team as well as future projects. So this will be quite an exciting adventure for us, because naturally I want to make sure that we continue the work that we're doing in any way, shape or form, whether it's online or whether it's eventually face-to-face if everything goes according to plan with the government guidelines as we speak. But you know, it is my own little way to say thank you to those actors who came on board and literally just gave their time for free, and I just want to make sure that they're appreciated as well. So the donations that you are giving will be split between the 2 companies equally, once obviously ticket deductions have been taken off, which will be via Eventbrite. Then naturally what you're doing is you're supporting the arts. It's like I said at the beginning, when things went dark for us in the theatre, it's projects like Quarantine Kids that turned out to be a passion project to keep us actors going through these uncertain times, to make sure that we were kept busy. But now we've got an opportunity to showcase these wonderful people, and especially the ones who basically keep coming back to the projects and saying thank you, to them for doing all that they have done. So, if you want to support these wonderful companies, and that includes the Blind Cupid Shakespeare Company as well, because they are amazing, do check out them in the description box below to see the sort of things that they are doing or in prep of doing, and also check out their showcase as well that they did back earlier this year around Valentine's weekend. And I tell you what, there's some beautiful strong actors in there. So what I'm going to say is, don't just check our lot out, check these guys out as well, because they're just incredible, okay? So, by donating and supporting, you are supporting both channels to grow, so to speak, both companies to grow in any way, shape or form possible. And we just want to start taking it seriously now, rather than just basically, do this. So even if you're donating something as little as £2, that will go further than you think. That will really help. If you want to donate something like £100, amazing as well. Obviously, we really do appreciate that. And okay, I'm going off on a weird tangent again. But anyway, because we want to take this seriously, we were going to launch this on the 27th of March. Now, we very much believe, especially on the journey that we've gone on, especially Jack, who is not only one of our actors, but he's also editing the tales. what we found already on this journey, that it's quality over quantity. And what we didn't want to do, especially with stuff that we were finding out recently, we didn't want to rush things. So we've postponed the actual launch of the project until another 2 weeks' time. So keep an eye on the channel for all that to come. So stay tuned for that, and in the meantime, thank you so much if you've been literally watching and bearing with us all the way through to the end of this video. It's a bit of a longer one than usual, but it's more important we get this out there, and I wanted to basically make it a little bit more clear as to why we were doing it this time. So thank you for supporting and listening. My name's been Sascha Cooper, and this has been Quarantine Kids Storytime. Like I say, more to come in the next few weeks, so stay tuned, and I will see you next week on the next weekly weekend roundup. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye!